I learned a great deal in nursing school, an academic foundation that taught me how to think clinically, act efficiently, and care compassionately. One of the first things I discovered was that keeping someone alive, especially if they're already breathing and have a pulse, can be relatively straightforward, assuming that patient is otherwise healthy. But the reality of nursing quickly revealed itself to be much more complex. The real challenge begins when patients come in with multiple chronic illnesses, layered diagnoses, and interwoven complications: diabetes, hypertension, COPD, renal failure, infections, or worse. In those cases, nursing becomes less about routine care and more about anticipating problems, making quick but informed decisions, and working closely with a team under pressure. Fortunately, I got to cut my teeth early in the most intense corners of the profession: EMS, ICU, CCU. I've been there when everything goes sideways. I've learned the hard way, and I've carried every lesson forward. Now, with years of experience behind me, I'm a well-seasoned nurse, an old hand who can sense when something's not right long before alarms go off. I've learned how to spot the smallest signs that a patient might be decompensating and how to act swiftly to keep situations from becoming full-blown emergencies. In many ways, I'm calmer now, more confident. I know what I'm doing, and I do it well. But sometimes I wonder what patients see when they look at me. They don't know I graduated near the top of my nursing class. They don't know I've worked in some of the most demanding units in the hospital system. They don't know I've trained new nurses, led resuscitation teams, and advocated fiercely for patients who couldn't speak for themselves. What they see too often is something else. Some patients seem genuinely surprised that I'm a nurse at all, even when I'm standing there in scrubs, badge clearly visible, the words "registered nurse" printed in bold. I'm treated with skepticism that my white or female colleagues don't always receive. I believe there are two reasons for this. One, I'm a man in a field still stereotypically associated with women. And two, perhaps more pointedly, I'm a black man. Despite all that, I know the truth. My patients are getting one of the most experienced, committed, and capable nurses in the hospital, whether they realize it or not. And that's what matters to me. I show up every day with the same goal: to advocate, to protect, and to provide the best care possible. Regardless of how I'm perceived, I know my worth. And more importantly, I make sure my patients receive the care they deserve, even if they never see me coming. The first 9 hours of my shift in the emergency department had unfolded with a familiar, controlled rhythm. We'd seen a steady stream of patients, but nothing overwhelming. And by a stroke of good fortune, every single one had been stable enough for discharge. In the chaotic world of emergency medicine, sending everyone home is a victory, a small sign that for today, at least, we were ahead of the curve. It's 7:00 p.m. now, the traditional changing of the guard. The hum of the unit shifts as the night crew clocks in, their fresh energy a stark contrast to the end-of-shift weariness of the day shifters. Still, nurses huddle together, the quiet murmur of handoff reports, passing critical information from one shift to the next. As a mid-shifter, working from 10:00 a.m. to 10:00 p.m., I was in a brief lull, with no one to report to just yet. Then it happened. I flashed back to that night. Just as I was about to check on my last patient, my phone vibrated. It was my sister, Deborah, and I thought that's never good. I stepped into the quiet of the supply room to answer. That's when my world tilted on its axis. She told me my youngest sister, Monica, had been murdered. Suddenly, Deborah was not just my middle sibling, but my only sibling, and my oldest and youngest. The sterile, quiet supply room felt like it was closing in on me. A tidal wave of emotions crashed over me in a sequence so rapid I couldn't process them. Disbelief, a hollow numbness, then a gut-wrenching surge of grief. I thought of Deborah, who had been Monica's roommate for years under our parents' roof and knew her in a way I never could. I pictured my mother, about to receive the news that she had lost her baby girl. Monica was a force of nature. Her personality was as enormous as her laugh, a sound that could fill any room and command attention. In our large family, you had to be loud to be heard, and Monica was never drowned out. I tried to explain that I needed to go home, but the professional composure I'd maintained for hours shattered. The words caught in my throat, and I broke down, evolving into a sobbing mess. An immediate reflexive apology left my lips. It's a strange byproduct of this profession. You're conditioned to feel guilty for abandoning your post, no matter the reason. A fellow Mississippian and the charge nurse was incredibly understanding, his demeanor shifting instantly from professional to deeply human. "You have absolutely nothing to apologize for," he said, offering his condolences before asking the two questions I expected. "Are you okay to drive? And is there anything at all we can do?" I answered no to both questions.